We've been focused on the fields in a record. What I want to do is to back up and talk about this list view because it's a great way to be able to get information and make updates as you need to. So what happens is it defaults to recently viewed, and know that this list views, this comes again directly from clicking on the outcome harvesting tab that we built. We can also go to reports, and there is a reporting function that allows us to go to all reports. Say we want to search for outcome. There aren't going to be any yet, so we're going to go to new report. We're going to look at all reports and search for outcome, and what we get is a whole series of reports that we could talk about. That may happen in a future video, but I think at this point just know that this reporting function does exist. When we look at this list view format, again this is the default recently viewed, floating over any of the columns allows us to see what the column name is. We can also expand it by left clicking and dragging, and you can make the whole thing visible. If you click on a column, it'll sort by that column. So especially helpful with dates, right? Because we can see that. And clicking it a second time reverses the order. Now if you click here, you're able to see other list views that have been created. And so looking at this, we have an all records, and this is basically the default order for all records. And what we're able to do here is we're able to go out to the list view controls, and we have the option of always creating a new report, cloning this existing report, renaming it, sharing it with others. We can edit the filters that we're using. That's also a filter. And we can select the fields that we want to display, delete it, or we can also reset all the column widths to basically make it default again. The other feature of these is that if we hover over any field, you see you get a pencil. That means you could make an edit to it right here. So looking at this record, you could make changes. So rather than having to go into each record, you conceptually could make changes right here. The other key is if we look here and we say, okay, I want to click on these two, and I want to make a change here. For example, let's change the date. I can update two records, and I can say we're going to apply a different date for that. We're going to say it was January 9th, and we're going to apply it. Once we've done that, we still need to save it. So clicking Save gives those the current dates. So now we're looking at all records. If we click When, we see those pop to the top or to the bottom. Now, list views are specific to one object. So here we're looking at outcome harvesting, where in reporting, we could actually bring several together and be able to report on the contacts involved, all those related records that we used in the prior video. If we move to the other list view here I had created, which was the all outcomes, if we go in and modify, we can select which fields we want to have displayed. So we have all the fields that are available to us, and these are the ones that are visible, and selecting one allows us to move it up within the order and reorder it that way. Creating a new one, again, we can new or we can clone or we can rename, but let's create a new one just to show you that you're able to create a name here. You can also modify visibility. Only I can see it, everybody can see it, or I can share it with a specific group. Also note that what you can do is you can create a split view, which allows you to look at a single record, and you're able to see, again, it's showing up in sections, so we're able to kind of work with it over here and click into a different record and be able to see what we're up to. But again, what we've got is different information about how we're looking at given fields based on what we're doing. So here we're looking at defined and deepens, and if I go back here to table view, you can see it defined and deepens are here, and so that's what we were actually seeing when we were in this split view. We're seeing the record, first field, second field, third field, which kind of brings us to the other topic I wanted to make sure that we highlighted with this one, which is that if you are looking at a specific record, what you see is information on this top row. This top row is controlled by the object manager. So if we go out here and we take a look at edit the object, we can look at something called compact layout. which fields we specifically want to include. So we can always click Edit. And again, it's going to give us that same feature where we can move them across and put them in order so that when we're looking at this top row, we can see specific information that's helpful to us. And I guess the last thing to make sure that you see it is that there is this pinning option, which is once you've figured out what you want to see, when you click this, this means that it's the default option. So when you open this each time, it'll show you the view that you want to see, whether it's any or all or something you've built personally. So lots of good material. Again, this is generic Salesforce, but I think it's important to be able to manage given the number of fields that we're playing with in the outcome harvesting record. Thanks for watching.